Hey everybody, Chris here with the Module 2.2 overview. We are now approaching the end of the course. We're 2/3 of the way through. As you can see behind me, it's very green. I'm visiting my parents in Delaware, so I'm treated to the forest behind me here. The final project for this course, as I believe we've discussed, is a video essay. So that's an essay in video form. There's a lot of examples of video essays. Chances are you're already familiar and have already watched some examples of video essays on popular video sharing websites like YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and send you a list of sample video essays made by creators on YouTube. And also, there's going to be an activity this week on Monday where you're going to watch a video essay on a topic that the author calls Born Sexy Yesterday. And you're going to be analyzing that and using that video to think about the genre of video essays and what makes something a video essay as you think about creating your own. So one important thing that I want you to keep in mind as we go into this week is that you're going to have to get familiar with some basic video editing software. If you're using an Apple computer, that's going to come pretty easily in that iMovie comes standard on most Apple laptops and computers. If you're using a PC, there's also free software that you can use called Lightworks. Check out Husky CT, and there's a pretty extensive guide to free video editing software. And I do want to emphasize the free part. The last thing I want is for students to spend money, certainly not a lot of money, on video editing software. That's really not necessary or required for this course. So that's like kind of the technical side of things when it comes to the video editing. But for the conceptual side of things, okay, so you're going to make a video essay. What is your video essay going to be about? That's really up to you. The only criterion here is that your video essay has to be related in some way to education. But we can define education quite broadly. It doesn't have to do necessarily with the classroom and what's learned in the classroom. We can think about education in a more general sense. So for Monday, you're going to be submitting an annotated bibliography. Check out the assignment prompt for an in-depth look at what an annotated bibliography is. A bibliography is a collection of three, in this case, just three sources. That's all I'm asking you to assemble, perhaps 3 articles. And each source will be annotated with about a paragraph of text articulating what this source is, what the author's project is in the text, and how you plan to make use of it. It's going to take you a while to create this annotated bibliography, several hours, right, to do the research and the writing. So please don't wait until the last minute for that. Don't wait until 10 or 11 p.m. to get that started. It'll take several hours. Again, it's an intensive course, right? Ordinarily, this course would be spread out over 15 weeks. We're doing it in less than half of the time, perhaps even closer to a third of the time. So that's Monday, the annotated bibliography and the sample video essay on Born Sexy Yesterday. On Tuesday, we're going to use our synchronous session to do kind of an MLA APA boot camp. So we're going to be talking about citations and formatting and what what APA and MLA are and how they're used by scholars. And the activity that you'll be doing on your own for that day is called Exploring the Archive, where you're going to look at some of the archives, including UConn's archives, to collect assets for your video essay. When I say assets for a video essay, I'm talking about sound effects or video clips. Pretty much every video essay makes extensive use or some use of audio clips and video clips to support the author's argument. That's kind of the other main point that I want to make about a video essay. The requirement for this class is that your video essay should engage in the course move of theorizing. That means you're making some kind of original claim or argument about your subject. You're changing the direction of a conversation, perhaps, or maybe you're inventing a new term like the author of the Born Sexy Yesterday video did to describe a phenomenon that he had noticed. So Tuesday's activity, exploring the archives. Wednesday, you're going to respond to the discussion board posts that you did on Tuesday for exploring the archives. And then the final thing on Thursday is to submit a plan for your video essay. What do you plan to do your video essay on? How are you going to, in your video essay, change the direction of a conversation, or maybe create a new term, or look at the way that different media inflect your topic. I have graded and returned your Humans of Education projects. Thank you so much for your work on those. You might have noticed I'm a little behind with some of the other assignments. This weekend, either today or tomorrow, I want to grade and return your Coming to Terms essays. That's probably the next big thing, as well as look at the extraordinary research activity and the panel of experts. So expect at least a few words from me on the Coming to Terms essay, and maybe some general comments for the group on the extraordinary research project, some group feedback there. This has been a longer video. Thanks for sticking with it, and I will see you all soon on Tuesday.